जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. You know this song? You can repeat it. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Vijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanacha Tira Vanacha Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Radha Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Everybody tell please loudly from the heart because we are glorifying the Lord. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadramani Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Jagannath Baladeva Jaya Subhadramani Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace श्रीमद ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे गौर हरे कृष्णा. So you are all new for first time coming. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are covering the topic time management versus mind management. Time management versus mind management. So, how many of you have attended last Saturday's session? Last Saturday, how many of you have come? Nobody have come. Hmm? Everyone came. No, you didn't come. Okay. Then we will go through because it's very important. Now let us keep the session little bit interactive. You are all studying in which? You are studying, right? Huh? Doing job. You are studying. Do we all agree that English is fine, English language or Kannada? English or Kannada? English. Okay. Do we agree that we have to manage our time? No. Uncompromised.
Sometimes we manage.
But do we agree that we have to manage? We have to manage, right? There is no compromise. If we don't manage our time, it is similar. If we don't manage our finance, what will happen? If we don't manage our finance, we will suffer. So similar way, if we don't manage our time also, we'll fall short of so many things. The life becomes imbalanced, right? So we have to balance everything. We have to balance our studies. We have to balance our personal life. We have to balance our social life. We have to balance our job. We have to balance our spiritual life also. Because spiritual life also is part of our day-to-day activities. So there are multiple aspects in our life. So in that, spiritual life also is one aspect. And in order to fit in spiritual aspect in our life, we have to manage our time very properly. So, why do we want to learn time management? When the question comes, one is managing our life very well. Hmm. Second thing is, everybody of us are working or studying in so many ways, right? But some people will work very hard. They are very hard working, no doubt. But what the result will come, it is very minimal. Hmm. Why? Because they are not working smarter. Hmm. So with the managing the time, we want to work smarter rather than working hard. Smarter means what? There is a intelligence involved, buddhi, right? So we are understanding time management, and also we are understanding mind management. So what is the subtle body in consists of? What is the gross body consists of? This is our gross body. We can see. I can see your face. You can your nose, your eyes, your ears, everything I can see. What is that body called? It is a gross body. It's made up of what? Earth, ether, water, five elements. Pancha Mahabhuta they call, right? Hmm. For earth, ether, water, fire, air. And there is something called subtle body. Sukshma Sharira, Sthula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira. What is the subtle body made of? Mind, intelligence, and false ego, ahankar. So we understood there are two types of body. Now, in order to work smarter, we have to involve our intelligence. So intelligence is higher than the mind. So we do time management because we want to work smarter. And when we control our mind and when we use our intelligence in a proper way, we can also do properly time management. This is the second aspect. What is the third aspect? We have our various goals in our life. Do we agree? So if I tell, let us play football, let us bring the ball, and we will divide into two teams. I'll tell, let us play, but there is no goal post. So what is the meaning of football? Can we play anything? Can we accomplish something? So without goals, we cannot accomplish anything. So being humans, we should have some goals in our life. So what is that goal that we have to understand? And in order to accomplish our goals, we have to manage the time very properly. Then last one is effectively utilize our time and also others' time. We have to respect others' time. Say, suppose I started the class now. I'm going on and on and on. 1 hour over. Okay, you are thinking when Prabhuji will stop the class. 2 hours over. I'm continuing. 3 hours over. What is it indicate? I am not respecting your time. I'm just going on and on. So in every aspect of our life, we should also manage our time. We should also respect others' time also. So when we are taking others' time, and I'm suppose Upendra Prabhu or somebody, I'm demanding the time from him or some whomever you may be. So I will ask your time. I should be cautious what I exactly want from all of you. I should be clear. And how much time do you need? Do I need? And I ask Prabhuji, can you give 5 minutes of your time? Can you give me 30 minutes of your time? So 30 minutes means little bit here and there, it's fine. But 30 minutes, we should not become 2 hours. We should respect others' time. So in advance only, we'll ask, oh, Prabhuji, do you have this much time? If he says yes, then we respect. And we plan our what I am supposed to present, what I am supposed to ask, what I am supposed to get from him. So these are the things. So fourth point is effectively utilize our time as well as others' time. So what do we understood now? Why do we want to learn time management? First point is managing our life very well. Second, work smarter and not harder. Third point, we should have some goals in our life and we have to accomplish those goals. And fourth point is effectively utilize our time and respect others' time. Okay, now, you know Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of our ISKCON movement, he had only 12 years to expand this movement throughout the whole world. So he wrote thousands of letters. So we agree that everybody have only 24 hours of time. So now let us try to understand how do we manage this time, because everybody have got 24 hours and some people accomplish so many things and some people cannot accomplish even smaller things. Why does that happen? We will understand that point. Srila Prabhupada, he also had 24 hours, but he accomplished so many things in just 12 years, which was considered humanly almost impossible. He established 108 temples. You know, this running one center, the smallest center here, you know how much effort it takes? You can understand, right? Just by so much management, so many things are involved in this. So he built 108 temples. Not only that, hundreds of letters he wrote to his disciples and other well-wishers. It's this much one bundle of letters. Not only that, he wrote Bhagavad Gita, he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita and so many other small books and lots of books. And he had the time for morning walk. You know this, there are so many wonderful points and lectures that are lectures in the sense the speech happened in the morning walk. So many jewels came from the morning walk. And he had the time for massaging. And he had the time to travel in aeroplane 14 times the globe in just 12 years. How he had this much time? So we have to understand that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the time. Krishna says, time I am. So when we utilize our time in Krishna's service, then Krishna gives us time. Because time is in Krishna's hand, right? It's his energy. But when we want to engage in our own sense gratification, then there will be no time. It is like time is not constant, it is dynamic. This point you have to understand. Time expands, it can contract. Expanding and contracting, this principle. So, one who is always Krishna conscious, he has sufficient time for everything. One who is engaged in sense gratification, he may not have sufficient time because he is missing the main point, which is Krishna or Krishna consciousness. So then Any of you have encountered this situation that I need more time? Oh, I didn't have sufficient time for finishing this task. I didn't have sufficient time for studying. And sometimes what do we do? Postponing. This, this postponing is the tamoguna. Whatever we want to do today, we'll postpone it to tomorrow. Oh, no, 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 I will do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. So this is postponing. So and we need time for what and all. We need time for our studies. We need time for our job. We need time for our family. If you are not giving time for family, what will the family will tell? You are not giving sufficient time for us, right? Then we need specially time for Krishna consciousness. We need time for our sadhana. We need time for our preaching or reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So all this time, how do we manage? So how many of you know the four quadrants? Actually, if I had the this one, it would have been very good, but somehow I am not able to show you. There are something called the four quadrants. Maybe you can see this. There is the website, okay, Radhesham Prabhu's, there you will get this PPT. Quadrant 1, Quadrant 2, Quadrant 3, and Quadrant 4. So what are these different quadrants? Okay, he is going to arrange. Then I will take this next, okay. Before that, we will see what happens if we don't manage our time. Can somebody tell? What are the consequences? What can happen? Suppose you don't have time for something. Let's say, an example, you have to go to some marriage or some important this one. You don't have time. What are the consequences? One thing, you lose temper. No, सिट्टु बರ್ತದೆ. क्रोध आता है. Or then, or we cannot accomplish much. We set a particular goal and we fail in that. Then what will happen? We become frustrated. So this is the another thing. And if we don't we can do only little things without proper planning. And we may have to compromise with the relationships, our spiritual life, sometimes even with the health. Health is very important. So that is the reason everybody, in whatever age we are, we have to do 30 to 40 minutes of yoga or exercise. This is to keep the body fit. How many of you are doing yoga or exercise? Only two. What about others? So being young, you should not neglect this. So immediately implement this. Start with say some 5 minutes, increase it to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, come to 30 minutes. It's very, very important. Otherwise, as the age goes, we may lose our health. Health is very important. So overload, forgetting health, peace because of lack of time. So when we ask somebody why you are not exercising, we do not have time for exercising. So this is not the excuse we should take. We have to exercise, we have to do yoga. It's very, very important. We have to take care of our health properly. So we understood we may lose temper and always run short of time. If we cannot accomplish much, we will accomplish very little, little things with no proper planning. We may forget health and peace, and we may compromise with the relationships. So whenever we don't have time, the somebody may tell that where has the time gone? Somebody can read this, and another person can read on the right side. 3, this one, this. Is it visible? No.
So this way,
Which should be straight to.
this has to come this way. Can you keep this on some too?
Hmm.
You can say. If it is coming nearby, we can keep that.
Okay. No problem.
Fine for you?
Yeah, fine. Okay, first we'll finish that quadrant part, okay? Because that's very important. If you understand. Probably, you last time would you like to explain? Prabhuji?
The quadrant,
The quadrant. Whatever you understood.
like two axis. This quadrant makes horizontal axis is
Urgent. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to classify like what is currently urgent and important. On the basis of that, you have to classify all the work, like all the tasks we have. So in quadrant one, is urgent and important both.
This one. This is urgent and it is also urgent. It is also important. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. And the second quadrant is important, but it is not urgent. Third quadrant is urgent, but not important. And fourth quadrant is not urgent, not important. So whatever task you are getting, you will segregate in any one of the 4 quadrants. So let us see few of the examples. What are the activities or the tasks or the things coming in the quadrant 1? It has to be addressed very urgently, like somebody got heart attack, somebody got health issues, and he has to be immediately admitted to hospital. Or some deadline projects. Tomorrow is the deadline and we have to deliver the project. That comes in the quadrant 1. And some say immediate power shutdown happened and everything got shut down. What we have to do? But to stop everything, then we have to first address that. Now, these are all coming in the first quadrant. That's called immediate action, quadrant of action. Okay. But this quadrant of action will not be happening every day in our life. Every day heart attack will not happen. Every day shutdown will not happen. So this comes whenever it comes, we have to address that is there, and that it comes unplanning also, because nobody plans for heart attack or shutdown, right? So that has to be addressed. And the second quadrant, if you see, which is the important and not urgent. This is the plan of quality. This is the plan where we have to focus. When we focus on this, we will save a lot of time. Why? Because everything is planned properly. We are projecting the future also. For example, I told you about health. What will happen if you don't exercise? The exercise comes in the quadrant of quality. It is definitely not urgent. Nothing will happen if you don't exercise today. But it is important. Why? Because if you don't exercise continuously, sometimes you are going to face some sudden problem. So that needs to be addressed from now. So it is not urgent, but we plan it now. So self-development, how I have to improve my spiritual life, how I have to improve my personality. I plan it. Suppose somebody is having the stage fear, what he will do? He has to plan how he will develop himself. He comes in front of the mirror, he plans some presentation. He standing in front of the mirror, he starts presenting it. So he practices that. Then slowly he comes in front of his friend and he presents. 2, 3 people he will present. Then he can present to 20 people, then 100 people. So slowly we have to develop self-development. Then investing in the relationship. Suppose I have relationship. I don't know any one of you. I have seen first time. Immediately I cannot build the relationship. If I become too close, you may doubt, oh, why Prabhuji is coming so close to me suddenly? Huh? Something is which fishy लगता है. So in relationship also, I put one step, then you put one. This building the relationship. It's not urgent, but it's important that we have some good relationship with at least 3, 4 people. We should have some good equal peers whom we can express our heart. Some seniors who can guide us, who can understand our heart. They can guide in our spiritual path or the material job, everything. Then recreation, all this. Then we have to plan our like future things. How I go in my future. This time 27th year I'll get married, or I'll then after this 35 I will have this one, 40 I will have this one. Then when I'll get retired, all the plannings we do. These are all not urgent, but it is important. When we take care of this with this planning, we can save a lot of time as well as our personality also becomes very nice, very wonderful. So we have to put effort in developing ourselves. The most time consuming is the quadrant 4, which is that it is not urgent, not important. But so many people are wasting time in this one. So we want to manage our time. We have to cut down this one. We have to segregate. See, immediately one activity comes, immediately mind management and intelligence, you should direct that which quadrant it falls. Suddenly you have to, intelligence should direct. And immediately if it falls in the category of quadrant 4, it can wait, right? Not urgent. Not urgent can wait. And it is not important also. It is no problem if we do 2 days later, 3 days later. No? So that is the main thing is actually maximum time goes in that only. It is called quadrant of waste. Because suppose some Prabhuji, you got one call, then what you will do? The call was one small point to be asked. That point was clarified. But the phone call goes in different direction. That day what happened with that fellow, what happened, and this Prajal, all the thing. The phone call may go in totally different directions, and you wasted half an hour of time. So these things we have to be little bit alert. Then some unimportant things, attending some unimportant mails or unimportant messages. We wanted to, if you observe in the WhatsApp, we want to do something in the WhatsApp, but immediately few messages we see. Well, we see some messages, and after seeing messages, we went so much deep into it. We forgot what we are supposed. We took the phone for WhatsApp phone. These things will happen. So attending unimportant things, seeing the status. Status, nowadays people are social media status. So much time is wasted in that. So we have to see like useless phone calls, unimportant mails, unimportant messages, unimportant social media activities. These are all fall in this category. So we have to segregate that one. And the quadrant 3 is very deceptive. It looks very urgent, but it's not at all important. So what will happen? You tend to, it looks like it is important because it's urgent. It looks like it is important, but it's actually not important. And but you give so much importance to it. It's the best example is what? This one is suddenly some visitors will come. Suddenly somebody will come and ask something. And the point will be one thing, and it goes, and the visitors of the relatives whoever have come. It's not so important to, I mean, of course, we can do the needful, but it's not necessary to drag for hours and hours and waste the time. How much is necessary? Half an hour, 1 hour? Do the needful, and we can save time. So in this way, any activities come, we have to develop the intelligence in such a way that which quadrant it falls. If suddenly we have to segregate it, and accordingly we have to take the action. And quadrant 3 and quadrant 4, if we avoid this, we save a lot of time. This is one of the best tool of time management. And quadrant of action, it doesn't happen on the regular basis, it's ad hoc. So whenever it happens, we can do the needful. So, but we can always focus on the quadrant of quality. That is, it is not urgent, but it is important in our life. We focus on it. Which are the examples we took? Exercise and yoga, doing yoga, health, self-development, then relationship building, then you have recreation, yukta ahara, yukta vihara, yukta karmasya chestis. So like that, everything we regulate in our life, we have to balance everything. When we balance everything in our life, we will be successful. Say, how many of you know cycle riding? So almost all of you know cycle riding. How do you ride the cycle? Now, suppose if I go here, I take the right turn. First, I am going straight. Cycle is like this. When right turn, what I'll do? I bend like this. Balancing, right? I'm bending like this now. Then there left came. The down I have to go. What I'll do? This way I'll bend. Then in the down, what I'll do? Brakes. You leave the brake and go. No. Brake and go. So this is balancing, braking, pedaling, when to accelerate, when to bend left, when to bend right. This is balancing, right? Same way in our life. Exam comes, we give more time to study, and we may keep sadhana to minimum. Our prescribed rounds, say 15 minutes reading, 15 minutes hearing. Then we give more importance to studies at that time. After the exam, what we'll do? We'll do maximum spiritual activities. At that time, we don't have any, and not necessary that we have to spend time for studying, right? So it is the life is all about regulating and balancing. So we have to learn the art of balancing and regulating. So for this, what it is said, why the problems are caused? Because we are not very well organized. So it is very important that we organize everything. It the organizing part, in order to tell that one, always it is important that our next day activities we start organizing from today evening. Next day, how it goes, it is starting today. And it is said we can plan the entire week and we can have bird's view for the entire month and entire year. So those who are successful people, generally 2-3 months before the next year starts, okay, they will have the entire bird's view for the entire year. In January, I'll do this. In February, March, I'll be here. In April, I'll be US. Then here, Germany, all the things. So we have to plan this way. At least, if not the small activities, at least we should have the birds overview. It's called birds overview. Matlab, from the top, you have an overview what you are going to do. That is called organizing. Then as the time approaches nearby, you are chunking it down into weekly based activities. Our mind cannot conceive too much about daily activities, but weekly it can accommodate very easily. If you read some good habit books, they also tell that weekly based activities human brain can easily accommodate. So because Monday I'll do this, Sunday feast program, and Saturday I'll do this. So that way, if you fix weekly based activities, you have kind of regulations in your life. Then weekly based, and you have the monthly based overview and yearly based overview. In this way, if you organize ourselves, then we can very well manage our time. So this is one more thing. And we will see some of the techniques. This are all you understood, right? Time wasters, quadrant 4. This is very important to understand. Okay, this is the part which we cover. And I'll show you now. Say, suppose you have this jar is there. And there are some big stones. And there are some small stones. And there are some sand you have to fit in. So if you fit in like this, what will happen? Now you have to tell. Still, it is not fitting completely. So what is the best way to fit everything in?
In the big rocks first.
Yeah. We are not able to fit in the big rocks. So best thing is what? First you filled all the big rocks. Then what is the next step? You filled all the small rocks. Then what did you do? You added, you shake it and add all the sand. Then the water. So everything is fitted. So in the same way in our life also, if we have big tasks to do, what we will do? What is the best way we can handle it? Even you may be working. So you told you are all working, right? So if you get big project, what you will do? Prioritize, yes. But how do you do that? Before prioritizing, you cut it down. What is happening here? There are some the very big task is broken down into small, which is comparatively, big, then still smaller, then still smaller. And then you fit in time. There is something called time management tools, right? You have heard about it? Or you have worked on it? Anybody worked on this time management tool? It is like when the one task ends, another task should start. And there will be some overlapping of when the overlapping should happen. All these things they plan the big projects. When they are quoting, millions of euros or millions of dollars, which involves that this one. Even 1 hour of planning also matters because hourly based charging, right? 1 hour involves 300 euros, 500 euros charging. So it runs in say 50,000 hours. And instead of 50,000 hours, you are charging then 60,000 hours. How much is the cost difference coming? It's huge. 10,000 into 300 euros. How much euros? It's a big, say maybe 3 million euros or something like that. It's a big loss for the company. They cannot afford to do that. So what they will do? They have to break down like this. The bigger rock is broken down small chunks in chunks, and then it is subdivided. Then they fit in where they can save maximum time. All the things they will do it, and then they give the precise quote because when the tender is raised, it is not that only one company is like opting for it, right? Being a businessman, suppose I gave the quote, you are giving one quote, you are giving one quote. 50,000 hours, you quoted 50,000 hours, say, and you quoted 40,000 hours. He quotes 60,000 hours. Obviously, where I will. One thing, 40,000 I'll see. If the quality is there, it doesn't matter for me. I'm saving 10,000. 10,000 into 300 euros, how much? Lot of money I'm saving. So in that way, you will also struggle. You will also struggle because he is giving 40,000. You will also see to that I am not too much difference is there. 40,000 is 41,000 or 39,000 here and there. Then one may see the quality. So in this, even if you say materially outside also, forget about spiritual things. Even materially, if you want to be successful, you have to manage the time, you have to plan very well, organize very well. In this same example, if we see here, what was the problem? Planning nahi hai. No? It is kuch man mein aaya, whatever comes in the mind, he is doing it. First put sand is there, put the sand. Then put the stone and put the big stones. Then what happened? 2, 3 stones left out. You cannot do that. So you have to plan well, organize well, all these things. Then what will happen? This is the success. You can be successful. You can accomplish your goals. So what is the lessons here? Effective time management lies in identifying the big rocks. So our topic today was time management versus mind management. Now, where is the mind involved here? Where is the mind involved? So planning we do through, and when we can do effective mind management, use the mind properly, focused way, concentrated, then we can also manage our time. So in order for this to happen, our spiritual practices will help us a lot. Then now you suddenly you may ask the question, that Prabhuji, why you are connecting this mind with the spirituality and the time management? How it is interconnected? How it is interconnected? With this example and few other examples, we understood that when our intelligence is sharp, like the breaking of the quadrant. If your intelligence is not sharp, then your brain will not think that whenever the activities come, it falls in which quadrant. You are not able to fit in that. But if your intelligence is very sharp and focused, what you will do? Immediately the task comes, suddenly it went into one of the quadrant immediately, and then you are very sure what next step to do. If it is falling in the quadrant 4, you park it aside. You can wait. So many devotees like the Radhesham Prabhu, Gaurang Prabhu, and many other big sannyasis, they're traveling worldwide preaching. They're even one minute also they are effectively utilizing. How it is possible for them? So whenever the task comes, if it is falling in the quadrant 4, they park it. For this, intelligence should be very sharp. How does the intelligence will become sharp? How it can become sharp? When it is purified. When intelligence is purified, when the mind is pure and purified, you can differentiate. That's why it is called, there is something called Shastra Chakshu and there is something called Divya Chakshu. You understand this? You understand this very carefully. This will immensely benefit in your life. No? Understand this concept. There is something called Charma Chakshu. Charma Chakshu. Charma Chakshu is the flesh, right? Eyes we are seeing. And there is something called Shastra or Divya Chakshu. What are the two things? Charma Chakshu and Shastra and or Divya Chakshu. With the spiritual practices, with the studying of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, by hearing such lectures, what you will get? What you will get? The second one, which is that Shastra Chakshu or Divya Chakshu. Suppose I showed this. You are seeing, everybody is seeing. Ananya Prabhu is saying, everybody, you saw. You are interpreting it in different way. What you interpreted, if I ask you some question regarding how you interpreted, if I ask you how you interpreted, and that Prabhuji, all answers will be different. But I am showing the same thing. Why you are seeing differently? Because you are seeing through your Charma Chakshu or the through three modes of material nature, which is Sattva, Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika. How we are influenced, we are seeing. But with the spiritual practice, with the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. What happens? Mind becomes purified. With the hearing of Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, intelligence becomes purified. Then what happened? You are seeing the same thing, but you are connecting with Krishna, everything. That means you have some higher vision. Higher vision always is the Divya Chakshu. So when you get the Divya Chakshu, you can see the world as it is. You see the restaurant here nearby. So many people are coming, going differently dressed. If one has the Charma Shakshu, what he will see? You will see only the external dressers, what they are doing, everything. We will see externally. But if one has the Divya Chakshu, how we will see the same situation? How they are in ignorance, how they are wasting time. They're talking about time management. How they are wasting their important human life. How much, after how many billions of years we have got human life, right? How many billions of life we spent? There are so many billions and billions of living entities who don't have human birth also. So many ants in one hole, there will be thousands, millions of ants. They don't have human life. There are dogs, there are cats, there are mosquitoes, snakes, so many billions of living entities who don't have human life. But we all have human life. Only few of us have come to attend the Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam class. So we can see that how some people are wasting their human life and how we have to utilize this precious time. Every moment is precious, right? No? Human life. And we don't know if we miss this opportunity of human life, when will be our next human life? We don't know. So we understand the importance of time management and utilize it very properly and also give importance to these spiritual activities, because with the spiritual activities, when we get the Divya Chakshu, when our mind becomes purified, when our intelligence becomes purified, we see the same world. When I showed this, same thing you may see in the with the Divya Chakshu. That Chakshu is required. And that Chakshu we get it when we chant the holy name, when we practice spiritual things. Slowly, slowly we see, perceive the world in a different way, with a higher dimension, higher things, higher view, right? Broad view. Many people don't know what is beyond life and death, birth and death. Bhagavad Gita explains life beyond birth and death. Bhagavad Gita explains life beyond this planet. Many people don't know, and there are living entities beyond this planet also. There is Swargaloka, there is spiritual world. So how do we get this vision? By the mercy of Acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now the Gaur Purnima festival is coming, right? By the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we got this opportunity to understand the value of human life, understand the value of time, how we have to utilize our human life, very precious. Amulya hai, very amulya hai. So that precious, that if you have very precious diamond, you will protect it in all aspects. You would see to that it is that you lock it, you maintain it. So same way, human life is also very important. So time we have to manage very each minute, each second, or each whatever hour we have, whatever in the best, our capacity is there, we utilize it in the best possible way. Okay. And then we try to perfect our human life. For this, if we practice spiritual activities, if we regularly read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, read Srimad Bhagavatam, what will happen? Mainly, our mind becomes purified and our intelligence becomes purified. This will help us in seeing with the clarity, everything with the Divya Chaksha. This will help us indirectly in this time management, because when intelligence is involved, it is very accurate and sharp. It becomes very precise. When intelligence is precise, mind is automatically controlled. When mind is automatically controlled, you will never waste any time in unnecessary activities. This is the whole thing. So that is why there are so many forums are there for even for you being the students. Like there are some Zoom channels. I think one Mali Pro is having, right? So morning Zoom chanting sessions are there. So we should not think that chanting is waste of time. It falls in the quadrant 4. No, chanting is not doesn't fall under quadrant 4 because it gives or it purifies our mind. It gives us higher direction. Hmm? So the more we chant, the more we become focused. You know, with the focus, suppose I'm stopping this with this one example. Say how one student is spending time 8 hours is studying and only 5 minutes is chanting. Suppose I'm giving this is a practical thing one can try out. He can focusedly chant for particular number of time. His focus increases. The same 8 hours, whatever study he can do, he can understand the same thing within less number of time, maybe 6 hours or maybe 5 hours. And he will think that chanting 1 hour or 1.5 hours is waste of time. No, he becomes more focused. The same 8 hours job which he's doing. I also see. No, I think uh, more than 15 years of my professional work. I finish 8 hours work in 4 hours. Nobody can understand. Everybody are perplexed how I can finish 8 hours job in 4 hours. Why? How it happens? Because so many years of spiritual practices. Intelligence will be so sharp that where we need to put energy, where we don't need to put energy. We clearly Krishna gives the intelligence. See, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tum yena mam upayanti. Krishna gives the intelligence, how you have to work, right? We are trying to surrender to Krishna. He gives the intelligence. Then when intelligence is focused, you know where exactly to put the effort, where you can work very smartly. You can very smartly handle even your studies also. You can excel very well if you do your sadhana very perfectly. So don't think that chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or spending time in the classes or spiritual activities, it is waste of time. It doesn't fall in the quadrant 4. Please do not do that mistake. How you are keeping aside particular time for job or particular time for studies also, we have to keep some particular time for our spiritual activities or sadhana also. And in that time, we can do that sadhana very nicely. When we are chanting, do it very focused chanting. Hear it properly. Like we will chant one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We try to focus here. When we try to do that effort, then automatically this mind and intelligence becomes sharper. So let us do that, and with that, we can definitely effectively manage the time and different aspects of our life also. So very basically, to summarize, balancing and regulating, and with the mind purification and intelligence purification, we get the Divya Chakshu, and we can effectively manage like which quadrant it falls, all those things. So now just short this one, Vanamali Prabhuji is having 2 sessions.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 sessions,
Yeah.
morning and evening. So whenever whoever wants to join that session, you can join. It is not that sometimes you may not be able to join. In that case, you can offline chant also give the report. Like it is not a compulsory or force. It is just like for our own self-development. We saw, right? Self-development and other things. This will help in our own growth, or both spiritual growth as well as growth in our other part of life. So this is a small information. Now we will chant one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then after that, Kirtan and then Prasad, right? Yes. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Full chant, I'll talk something.
Yes.
I'll do the introduction.